Genti between yards and yards before contact and yards after contact, all these sorts of, they're giving him nothing. He is getting hit constantly behind the line of scrimmage, multiple yards behind the line of scrimmage, and frankly, at this point, I think he's essentially out of the race, and this is partly due to Emeka Buka having a great year, Tyler Warren putting up big numbers. Ted McMillan, I think, is maybe the most talented player overall in the rookie class.
Pro Football Today, only on SportsGrid.
The leader right now in the clubhouse in the odds market is Fernando Mendoza. College football purists, yep, absolutely know that guy. Fantastic. He's a great quarterback. Non-purists who are tuning in just for the biggest games, who is this guy, Joe, and how did he get here?
He came from Cal. He's a mobile kid. He's big. He's about 6'3", about 220. He's a gutty kid and had a great performance for Kirk Cignetti.
SportsGrid's College Football Today.
We're in a weird place with Trevor Lawrence. This was another one of these quote-unquote can't-miss generational quarterback prospects, right? Everybody was salivating over when he was a freshman winning national championships. And here we are, about 5 years later, looking at ourselves going, is it just time for Trevor Lawrence to get a change of venue or something? Like, what's got to give here? Hopefully this Liam Cohen offense starts to come together.
Fantasy Sports Today, only on SportsGrid.
The Americans got to find answers in these partnerships, and I think they need to look at their who's making these decisions from a stat standpoint.
Well, it's so funny to me, especially coming off of the Walker Cup just a few weeks before, how it just seems like there's this glaring chasm between American partnered match play and American individual, singles match play.
The Smiley Show, only on SportsGrid.
And welcome in. It is in-game live game day here on a fabulous football Friday. Getting set for a big day of college football tomorrow. Then, of course, NFL on Sunday. Tonight, light night in the world of sports, but we do have some things to bet on. We got the start of the WNBA Finals, and we also have a college football game or two and one CFL game we could put a couple of shekels on as well. And we'll break down the Major League Baseball playoff series. Some strange lines, right? We got Ohtani and the Dodgers, underdogs in game one, but favorites in the series. Same thing with the Stankies, underdogs in game one, yet favorites for whatever reason against the Toronto Blue Jays. So we'll get to it all over the next 2 glorious hours right up until 10 p.m. Eastern time. My partner in crime, Mr. Gabe Morency. We will get to him because it's game time. What's betting you off tonight, Gabe? How are you?
Well, I will say, Scott, that it's anything but a light night tonight in the sports world. I've got a million bets. I've got more bets tonight than I did last night. There was NFL and baseball last night. There's a bunch of college football games going on right now as we speak. There's more college football games coming up tonight. You got the WNBA Finals that are ready to tip off in a couple of minutes. We've got a CFL football game. We've got NCAA hockey on the NHL network tonight. The NCAA hockey season has begun. The NHL season starts on Tuesday. So worlds are starting to collide tonight. So I've got action on 4 different sports tonight. So anything but a light night tonight for me.
Very nice. I like that. Like that indeed. All right, so let's do the opening kickoff. That's where our pickoff, as we like to call it. That's where we hand out a couple of plays we'll be keeping an eye on over the next 2 hours. I'll use a college football game, Gabe. It starts, later on tonight. West Virginia getting 20.5 against BYU. I know the Mountaineers, they have to use a backup quarterback. Their starter hurt his foot, but what's the difference? It's West Virginia quarterback. Is there really that big a difference between starter and backup? BYU, oddly enough, playing down to their competition here, 2-8-1 against the spread as double-digit favorites, including 1-5-1 as 12-point favorites against losing teams. So give me Rich Rod to keep this thing semi-close. I'm getting basically 3 touchdowns. You know what? Give me West Virginia plus the 20.5.
I'm going to start off with the other football game with the New Mexico Lobos. A New Mexico Lobo team that's only lost 1 game so far this year at Michigan. They have a better resume than a lot of teams in the top 25 do, if you want to be honest about this. They hung around with Michigan. It was a 34-17 football game. They were getting 34.5 points. After that, okay, they go home. They beat Idaho State. Then they go on the road, and they basically cost Deshaun Foster his job by smoking UCLA on the road. Then they go back home again, and they beat a rival in New Mexico State, who are a pretty good team this year, as we saw last night. This Lobo team, guys, have scored 32 or more in 3 straight football games on the road tonight against the San Jose State Spartan team that, quite frankly, are super overrated and aren't very good. If you look at San Jose State this year, guys, they've got 1 win. They beat the Idaho Vandals, and it was hard to do. It was 31-28. Give me the New Mexico Lobos tonight, plus the 2 points.
All right, I'll get to that game in a second. First up, I'm going to use San Diego State laying 6.5 against Colorado State, who I was on last week, and they laid an egg. San Diego State, I tell you what, you throw out their game against Washington State, which they gave up 36 points. The other 3 games combined, they've given up 3 points. 2 shutouts and 3 points. Now we got Hal Dummy Mummy, if you remember him, the former Kentucky head coach. His son is now calling the plays for Colorado State because their offense is so bad. If he's like his dad, that this has got disaster written all over it. Give me San Diego State to win this thing. They're not going to score a lot. They don't score a lot, but with 20-6, 20-10, something along those lines, I think they get the cover. Give me the Aztecs laying the 6.5 at home.
I'm going to play a total in this New Mexico and San Jose State game, and I'm going to play the over here. If you look at San Jose State, they're struggling to stop teams. Stanford's offense is kind of pedestrian, and they scored 30 on them. Idaho, the Vandals, dropped 28 on them. Texas kind of took it easy, scored 38 on them. And then they lost, remember, earlier in the year to Central Michigan. It was a lower scoring game, but this San Jose State team, they don't have any home field advantage at all. They basically play in a high school stadium. It's a tough sell for me here tonight with San Jose State. But with that being stated, New Mexico, you can't score on them. New Mexico's offense is better than their defense. But this Eck guy, Jason Eck, is a heck of a coach. I'll tell you what, this guy did a great job with the Idaho Vandals. Now he's doing a great job with the Lobos. Michigan talked about after the game earlier this year, they said they caught us off guard. They said this guy was running like complicated passing schemes that we didn't think they could do. And Michigan admitted it after. Like I said, they went in and stole UCLA's soul on national television on Friday night. New Mexico can battle with real teams. They're going to handle their business tonight. They should get into the 40s, mid-30s, low 40s tonight. Give me the over in San Jose State and New Mexico.
All right. I watched a lot of that New Mexico UCLA game. I was impressed with them, and then I was really impressed. They won again last week, as you mentioned. But I'm going to go on the other side. Listen, I don't love any of these plays, honestly, but they're there, so let's play them. I'm going to grab San Jose State, believe it or not, laying the 2.5 at home. 2 reasons why. Their quarterback, Walker Eggett, E-G-E-T, Eggett, however you pronounce it, he's pretty good.
Yeah.
I don't know how you pronounce Eggett. Is that
he's okay.
He's the quarterback. They can put some points on the board. I don't mind the over, like you were talking about. They're 6-1 straight up, 7-0 against the spread against New Mexico. Now, this is a better New Mexico team, but Atlanta San Jose really been great. So they've owned them for whatever reason, and they are 16-5 their last 21 games at home. They've been a disappointment this year. I had them against Central Michigan to open up the season, and they laid an egg. I'm going to go one more time, Gabe, on them. If they can't win this one, then I'm writing them off for the rest of the season. But I'll take a small nibble on San Jose State. I'll be on the other side laying 2.5.
We'll be on opposite sides of that football game. I'll get to the BYU West Virginia game, and I think we're on opposite sides. We are on opposite sides there. But Penn State, and I threw the crew off here. They're like Penn State minus 180. They're like 40-1 on the money line against UCLA. Said no, Penn State hockey. Penn State, and not to be confused because the Penn State women's volleyball team is on national television right now playing against Nebraska. But Penn State hockey, so NCAA hockey is back. The Penn State Nittany Lions, the NIL world is hit hockey right now. All right, and Gavin McKenna was like the number 1 player in Canada. He played in Medicine Hat, and he's going to be the number 1 pick in the NHL draft next year. And Penn State paid him $2 million to play for 1 year. Like, he's not going there. They know it. Like, I'm going to the NHL. Like, so basically he's getting paid $2 million to go to Penn State and play hockey for 1 year. Penn State already won the Big Ten championship last year. They're already super stacked. They're going all in. Like, they want to win a hockey national championship. And they're freaking stacked. Now, they're playing against Arizona State tonight, and you're thinking Arizona State. Arizona State are actually the 14th ranked hockey team in the country. They got a good program, ASU, but they lost 4 of their 5 top point scorers. Their 2 leading goal scorers are both gone. Penn State is just in a different class than Arizona State is. Even though the game is in Tempe, give me the Penn State Nittany Lions minus 180 tonight to win their season opener.
All right, nice. I like that. Last one from me. I'm going to use Las Vegas WNBA Finals tipping off here in a little bit. They're laying 3.5
Just tipped off.
Against. Just tipped off. All right, so we can still get these bets in, obviously. Laying 3.5, Gabe. They're 3-1 this year against Phoenix, 15-2 their last 17. Now, 2 of those wins this year did come by 3 points, but they've owned this series. I'll take my chances. They win, and they cover the 3.5.
We're on the opposite side of a lot of games tonight because, for the record, I'm laying the wood with BYU. I think BYU are going to torch West Virginia tonight. And this one, Scott, I was kind of torn. I'm like, Vegas probably find a way to win. That's all they do, like win the championship. But I couldn't pass up the 3.5 points tonight.
Yeah, I agree. I understand it. I fully do. So we'll explain it and throw some more props out there in a second here on the grid.
Enter into the magical world of McLuck.com, where even the smallest of spins can win real cash prizes. Adventure into over 1,000 of the best Vegas-style slot games. So what are you waiting for? Unlock your free welcome offer today. Join the fun where winners play and players win.
Well, Shadur, which quarterbacks are you talking about? Because there's some bad quarterback play out there, but the dude who can't beat Dylan Gabriel out for a job and can't beat Joe Flacco out for a job certainly can't lay claim to being better than any other quarterback in the league.
The Craig Carton Show. Only on SportsGrid.
MVP hopes, as far as my eyes can see, out of here. No way. No way. Not with what I'm seeing around this league right now. Josh Allen should be in front of him. He is. Herbert should be in front of him. He's not just yet. Jalen Hurts should be in front of Lamar Jackson. People may not want to hear that, but it's true. Jordan Love is in front of Lamar Jackson. That's a pump the brake special. Come on now.
Game time decisions. Only on SportsGrid.
Major League Baseball has decided it is time to put balls and strikes not just in the hands of the umpires, but also the robot umpires, as they say. The ABS system is now officially in place starting next season. Now, keep in mind, they're not just throwing this out there. They have used this at the Arizona Fall League, and they've also used it at different levels of the minor leagues as well.
Newswire. Only on SportsGrid.
Everything changed at that point. They went and got Jonquel Jones, and they really had that triple threat monster team. That second year they lost in the WNBA Finals, 3-1 against the Las Vegas Aces. Year 3, they finally get over the top hump. And you can question whether they should have won the title with that foul call late in Game 5 that sent Breanna Stewart to the foul line.
Betting above the rim. Only on SportsGrid.
All right, welcome back in Game Live, Game Day here on the grid. Scott and Gabe, hour number 1. So let's go. We're on opposite sides on a lot of things. WNBA Finals, game number 1. Remember this year, the first year, they're going best of 7. So I have 4 plays I'll throw out real quickly, Gabe. I'm going to go under. I don't do too many unders. Under 17.5 points, Jackie Young. She has not had 18 points in their 4 meetings this year with her.
I'm on the over. I was just about to say, Scott, we finally agree on something when you said under. I was like, yeah, I'm on the under in the game as well, but you got the prop. And I've got her over the number, but go on with your picks.
That's right. This one, out of all of them, I think I love this one the most. Over 10.5 points, Chelsea Gray. She went 3-1 in the regular season, getting 11 points, and she went way over the total. And that if you want to circle one, that would be the one. I'm going to go Alyssa Thomas under as well, 16.5. But they bumped these lines up. And I agree with you about the under in the game, especially game number one, kind of a feeling out process. She only had 17 points one time in the 4 games against Las Vegas. And then I'll go over 16.5 points, Satu Sabali. She's 2-2, but it's kind of weird. It was like feast or famine. She didn't perform at all, or she went way over. So I think she's going to go way over tonight, though. She's really turned it on to postseason. Her numbers from regular season to postseason, like a good 3-4 point difference. So over 16.5, Sabali, over Chelsea Gray, under Thomas and Young.
I cranked out a lot of props in this game as well tonight. So I'm on the Phoenix Mercury plus the points in this game. I bought a 0.5 point and I made it 4 points. And
Nice.
we've seen, like, as watching the WNBA as much as we do, guys, every point matters, man. Like, NBA games are blowouts in the playoffs. Like, you're on the right side, you're on the wrong side. One team gets lit up. They're rarely close games, really, in the NBA playoffs. Like, zigzag. I beat you, you beat me. So like tennis players. Oh, we give up and we'll win the next game. WNBA, these girls fight tooth and nail, man. Like until the final whistle. Like they don't tap out. They really play hard. A lot of super close games. So I took the points. I'm on the under as well, Scott. You do the math. Like it sort of sounds, 160, 162, whatever. All right. They both need to get into the 80s, essentially. And these teams are not getting into the 80s in the playoffs. They're just not. Right? There's been an exception. There's a couple of games where there are track meets as the series goes on and they're tired or whatnot one night. But game one, WNBA Finals, this is going to be like a street fight here tonight. So I went under the number. And how about this, Scott? I think this is pretty contrarian, but I liked it. Under Asia Wilson. I got some balls tonight, Wetzel.
Wow.
Under 26.5 points. Dude, she's gone under this number every time against Phoenix this year. You know they're going to sell out and try to stop her. And Phoenix are the number one defensive team in the WNBA. I know, like, the Golden State team had their games go under, but Phoenix are actually, like, technically the number one defensive team. They're monsters, Scott. Like, Alyssa Thomas and Sably, like, they're monsters on defense, these girls. They're relentless. It's hard to score on them. So I like the under the game. So I went under with Wilson, 26.5. I think the only play we both have is Gray over 10.5. I agree with you on the Gray pick. It's like 6-1, guys, in the last 7 playoff games. She always scores like 12, 14 type of thing. I went with Young because I figured they were going to really try to stop Asia Wilson a lot. And quite frankly, I see how much Becky Hammond, look, when the game was on the line the other night, Scott, they dialed up the play for Young, not Asia Wilson. Like, it was Young. Like, the last couple of possessions, it's like get the ball to Young more than Asia even. So I figure that since they're going to be, they're going to double team Asia in the paint and stuff. So I expect Young to go over a number. You talked about Sably. Sably's kind of all or nothing, this girl, right? She can be amazing. Sometimes she sort of disappears. She seems pretty engaged tonight, actually. She's had a nice start. She's been a rebound machine in the playoffs. So I went over 6.5, but like Scott said it, earlier in the playoffs, guys, it was 4.5. She goes over all the time and made it 6.5. So, like, they have adjusted with her. So 6.5 rebounds. I told you I got a lot on this game, Scott. I played Sably over 16.5 points. I played our girl Alyssa Thomas over 16.5 points. And the only, juice I laid tonight, I played Alyssa Thomas double-double at -210. I was going to play the triple-double at plus 475, but I thought that was a little bit bold for a WNBA final game.
Yeah. They're making you pay the premium with some of these bigger name players. That's why, when you do how much did they score in the regular season versus the number they're giving you, everything was like,
but Thomas,
0-4, 1-3. But
her props were like 15.5 before. Like, it's not that different. Right. Like, she was like 15.5, 14.5, 15. So she's 16.5 now. Sably has been bumped up. She used to be kind of in that 12.5, 13.5 range. But she keeps scoring like 23 a night, if you notice. So they finally said, all right, we're getting burnt on her prop every night. She's been a popular player, I noticed, Scott, with the hardcore, degenerate WNBA community. I read a lot of stuff like every Sably. Like,
Coach
she's a very popular trend pick, this girl. Like, people like betting on her.
Yeah, Coach brings her up all the time. Whatever he's on, he's always talking about her.
She's like the X factor for them, Scott. If she's on and she's playing well, it's like, oh, boy. Like, because she's a monster at both ends. She's good defensively. She's good offensively. She's good all over the place. But like you said, like she's, it's the finals right now. This is some good stuff, though. I'm glad it's a best of 7, too. Let's have a real series and decide this.
Yeah. Here's Thomas's numbers. She averaged 15 regular season. She's upped at 3.5 points to 18.5. 14, 15, 16, 17, as goofy as it sounds, in the 4 games against Las Vegas. So she's kind of right there. All these numbers are kind of right there. Like, there wouldn't be a bet where I would say, oh, my God, what are you doing? She averages 10. You're betting over 15. Like, there's none of that.
The odds makers...
Right
the odds
there.
Makers know what they're doing at this point with these girls.
Yeah.
The numbers are all bang on. You know what I mean? And like I said, there's a difference, like 1 point, 2 points, a rebound. Like I said, Alyssa Thomas used to be 14.5. She keeps scoring 18. They made it 16.5, et cetera. But they're locked in with these props right now. The odds makers know what they're doing.
Yeah. Even the point spread, right? I mean, you hear it up. I looked it up, right? 15-2 game. And Las Vegas is 15-2 their last 17 games against Phoenix. It's like, why in the world would you ever bet Phoenix, right? But then when you look at the scores from this year, 2 of the 3 wins were by 3 points. So it's,
I know.
You're laying at 3.5,
and you also
you would be losing your bet.
So they're dominant against Phoenix. Coming into the playoffs, they had a 17-game win streak. And they're so lowly favored. But we see it, Scott. It takes them Asia Wilson 33 points. Jackie Young's got to score 27, and Chelsea's got to score 18 for them to win by 1 or 2 points all the time in the playoffs. Yeah. The playoffs have been different.
They've been whacked. They really have. We'll check the scores when we come back in Game Live.
Ashton-Genty, between yards and yards before contact and yards after contact, all these sorts of, they're giving him nothing. He is getting hit constantly behind the line of scrimmage, multiple yards behind the line of scrimmage, and frankly, at this point, I think he's essentially out of the race, and this is partly due to Emeka Buka having a great year, Tyler Warren putting up big numbers, Tet McMillan, I think, is maybe the most talented player overall in the rookie class.
Pro Football Today, only on SportsGrid.
The leader right now in the clubhouse in the odds market is Fernando Mendoza. College football purists, yep, absolutely know that guy. Fantastic. He's a great quarterback. Non-purists who are tuning in just for the biggest games, who is this guy, Joe, and how did he get here?
He came from Cal. He's a mobile kid. He's big. He's about 6'3", about 220. He's a gutty kid and had a great performance for Kirk Cignetti.
SportsGrid's College Football Today.
We're in a weird place with Trevor Lawrence. This was another one of these quote-unquote can't-miss generational quarterback prospects, right? Everybody was salivating over when he was a freshman winning national championships. And here we are, about 5 years later, looking at ourselves going, is it just time for Trevor Lawrence to get a change of venue or something? Like, what's got to give here? Hopefully this Liam Cohen offense starts to come together.
Fantasy Sports Today, only on SportsGrid.
The Americans got to find answers in these partnerships, and I think they need to look at who's making these decisions from a stat standpoint.
Well, it's so funny to me, especially coming off of the Walker Cup just a few weeks before, how it just seems like there's this glaring chasm between American partnered match play and American individual, singles match play.
The Smiley Show, only on SportsGrid.
All right, welcome back in Game Live. Game Day here on the grid. Scott and Gabe, hour number 1. So talking a little WNBA, just underway. Well, about 5 minutes in, 6 minutes in. 19-12, Phoenix off to a pretty good start. We were joking in the break there. The way Las Vegas has dominated Phoenix over the years, 15-2. It would be just like Phoenix and the WNBA this year, Gabe, for them to win. Because the WNBA postseason has been so wacky and so unpredictable with so many upsets that it would just be in line for Phoenix to actually win this series.
The one team, though, Scott, that's been the most consistent in the playoffs has been the Phoenix Mercury.
Yeah.
They had the least drama, if you think about it, right? Like, they were cruising through series. They were beating teams down. They rolled through Minnesota. Now, it should be noted, Collier got hurt in that series, right? She was, like, limping around, and, like, she was, no excuses, but she was not. Like, she was injured for real. And it turned out like she was hurt for the last couple of weeks, and she tried to play through it. So, it might have been a little closer, but look at Vegas, Scott. Dude, we saw it. They barely beat the Fever the other night. Barely beat the Fever. And they even lost Kelsey Mitchell, Scott, and they still nearly won. Yeah. Like, they had nobody left, the Fever, at the end, and they lost by like 2 at the end of the game. Like, they were right there. They were right freaking went to overtime. And then finally the wheels fell off in overtime finally. Jackie Young started hitting threes in overtime, and the Fever couldn't overcome it. Remember the elimination game against the Seattle Storm? They won by 1. They barely. It was 74-73, and Asia scored freaking 38 points.
Yeah.
Like, it hasn't been easy for Vegas in the playoffs. It really hasn't.
Yeah, they end up winning that game if you saw the end of that game. But, it's a typical NBA game, right? It's a 4-point, 3-point game. They miss, they foul. Vegas hits 2 free throws. They come down. They miss. They foul. Vegas hits 2 free throws. They miss.
Yeah,
they
went back and forth. Yeah.
Oh, Vegas hit like 6 free throws in the final 30 seconds.
They didn't miss the girls on Vegas at the end. You're right. They kept on. It was like swish. And it's funny because they miss all the time. These girls, like, it's funny because the stereotype is, well, the women in the old days. Remember, Scott was like, yeah, it's not the greatest basketball, but it's very good fundamentally, right? Like, they hit their free throws and they're good passers. The WNBA is like the NBA, Scott. Like, they hit threes, they miss free throws, they do crazy good pass. Like, it's very street ball like the WNBA. But they miss free throws a lot. Like, they're not, like, it's not automatic. They're like WNBA players. A few of them are good at it, and a lot of the other ones are like 60% type of deal. But I remember that, Scott. You're right. It was just swish, 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 swish. One after another.
We were on the air, and I put him in.
Yeah, it landed at 9, right? It landed at 9.
It landed at 9. I was like, son of a gun. So that happens. And I knew they were like the last one, they called a timeout. They were down 6 or down 7, and there were 12 seconds left. And I'm thinking, all right, they're not going to miss and foul again. Please, and they missed and they fouled again with like 4 seconds.
Oh, how about the other night with Indiana? Like, why would they foul? Like, they didn't foul for like the 7 seconds. I think Odyssey Sims did it on her own. She screwed the point spread up. Like, you talked about it earlier, Scott. Like, the WNBA point spreads are bang on. Like,
yeah.
How many times have we seen in the playoffs? It was like, oh my God, the spread was 7.5 and they won by 8. Or it's like, and we've been on the wrong side of a lot of them. Like, I see people online like flipping out. Like, everybody bet the Fever the other night. They didn't cover. They ended up not covering after it was all said and done. Yeah, it was like
that was the
unbelievable. Yeah.
Yeah. They fouled 3 times. Like I said, they fouled 3 times, like the final 30 seconds. I mean, you're thinking they're going to win.
There was no need to, Scott. When there was 12 seconds left and she called timeout again, I was like, what are you doing? Stephanie White? I was like, Stephanie, what are you doing here? It's over. Like, a valiant effort, but you're just prolonging the agony right now. Like, really? Yeah. What, you want to watch them hit another couple of free throws for what? Like, you know what I mean? For what? Yeah. We're not scoring 9 points in 5 seconds. Like, it's over. And I'm one of those never give up guys. And obviously, I was thinking about our point spread bet, Scott, right? But, but you know what I mean? It was a hell of a fight. It was over. Like, it's like a fight. It's done. You won. Like, it's over. You won.
What?
Like, you know what I mean?
Why wouldn't you tell the girls, listen, 12 seconds left, we're down 7. All right, let's throw up a 3. But if we don't, just that's it. But if we make it, cut it to 4, all right, then we'll foul. We'll play good defense, whatever. But wouldn't you tell the girls that? I mean, there's
No, they didn't have the ball even, Scott. That's what was weirder. They didn't have the ball. She called a timeout right after the basket. And I'm like, what are you doing? And that's when I knew we were screwed. I'm like, I was hoping, I hope you're just clearing your bench and you want to give your players a little bit of a clap here on the bench. But no, like, she kept on coaching the damn game. And they said, Stephanie White never quits. I'm like, God. Yeah, great. Quit, girl, quit.
cash and Genti between yards and yards before contact and yards after contact, all these sorts of, they're giving him nothing. He is getting hit constantly behind the line of scrimmage, multiple yards behind the line of scrimmage. And frankly, at this point, I think he's essentially out of the race. And this is partly due to Emeka Buka having a great year, Tyler Warren putting up big numbers. Ted McMillan, I think, is maybe the most talented player overall in the rookie class.
Pro Football Today, only on SportsGrid.
The leader right now in the clubhouse in the odds market is Fernando Mendoza. College football purists, yep, absolutely know that guy. Fantastic. He's a great quarterback. Non-purists who are tuning in just for the biggest games, who is this guy, Joe, and how did he get here?
He came from Cal. He's a mobile kid. He's big. He's about 6'3", about 220. He's a gutty kid and had a great performance for Kirk Signetti.
SportsGrid's College Football Today.
We're in a weird place with Trevor Lawrence. This was another one of these quote-unquote can't-miss generational quarterback prospects, right? Everybody was salivating over when he was a freshman winning national championships. And here we are, about 5 years later, looking at ourselves going, is it just time for Trevor Lawrence to get a change of venue or something? Like, what's got to give here? Hopefully this Liam Cohen offense starts to come together.
Fantasy Sports Today, only on SportsGrid.
The Americans got to find answers in these partnerships, and I think they need to look at their who's making these decisions from a stat standpoint.
Well, it's so funny to me, especially coming off of the Walker Cup just a few weeks before, how it just seems like there's this glaring chasm between American partnered match play and American individual, singles match play.
The Smiley Show, only on SportsGrid.
All right, welcome back in Game Live. Game Day here on the grid on a fabulous Friday. Talking some WNBA, little CFL we'll get to in a little bit, and some college football with our good buddy Colby Dan. Check out all his work, the Sports Gambling Podcast Network, his podcast, the College Experience Podcast. What's going on, Colby? How are you tonight, bud?
I'm great. I mean, just spreading the board here. I know you guys were talking WNBA. I'm on CFL. I'm on an Ivy League. I got money on the Ivy League college football game right
Which
now.
one?
So,
Which one?
I'm actually on both. I'm on Princeton, which is not looking good, and then I am on Brown,
Columbia.
who's up 7. Yeah.
10-0 Columbia right now. Updated point spread. The Lions are -4.5. Tigers +4.5. -200, +160. And the other the other one, Brown, taking on Rhode Island. Brown are up 21-14. Yeah, what do you think of that one? Who are you on in that one?
I'm on Brown, so I'm looking good there. Now I need some help in the Princeton one, but the Governor's Cup rivalry game, you were getting more than a touchdown earlier in the week. I think it closed at a worse number, but so I took a shot on the rivalry there. Just the fact that normally you get up for the rivalry game, but Princeton was a team I've been very impressed with the first 2 weeks. I mean, they look terrible so far, and one of their best defensive players got kicked out of the game for targeting. So we might have to grind this one out.
That's why I always laugh, Scott and Colby, about the he's an Ivy Leaguer, he's smart. I'm like, if Ryan Fitzpatrick's so smart, how come he throws so many interceptions? So like you said, like you know what I mean? So he gets kicked out of the game. That's not very smart.
Yeah. I mean, and the Fitzpatrick thing was, I mean, the guy was like, what? I feel like he threw more interceptions than touchdowns throughout his career, right?
Hey, he was a white Jameis Winston.
Yeah, the classic between the 20s, terrific. Get him in the red zone, and that's why he went from 5,000 different teams. So, all right, so we got.
I remember that game when he threw 7 interceptions for the Jets against the Chiefs. I was actually on it too, and I was like, for the love of God, there was like 5 of them in the end zone. I'm like, just take him out of the game. Take him out of the game, please.
Once you get in the red zone, take him out.
Yeah, I was like, no. Sorry, go on.
All right, so we got 2 games, Gold. South Florida was a big 4-touchdown favorite to lead 26-0 second quarter. I don't know if you want to touch that one or Delaware, Western Kentucky. I did like I thought it was going to be a high-scoring game, but I don't want to go over 61.5, 62. That's a lot of points. It is 17-10. This Delaware team, first year in the FBS, you know what? They're doing a halfway decent job. They're 3-1, and they beat UConn, and they're leading Western Kentucky 17-10 at the half, late 6.5 now.
Yeah, and shame on the NCAA for never adjusting their rules. They're just dinosaurs. They're just
stupid.
dinosaurs,
So stupid.
right? So Delaware is not eligible to play for the conference championship, and what, we're like 5 weeks in, 6 weeks in now. They look like the best team in the Conference USA, and they've had years to correct this. James Madison did this in the Sun Belt. Appalachian State did this in the Sun Belt. Year one they came in. Like, you've seen it multiple times.
If you're in the
now,
conference, you're in the conference. It makes no sense.
Yes. Yeah. And why would you ruin someone's happiness? If you're in the FBS, it's like you are depriving these kids of one of the greatest experiences of their lives, probably. If you win.
Back. You're sending the program back. How can you recruit to my school, even though we're now FBS, but when for the next 3 years you're not going to, while you're here, you're not going to make the playoffs. I mean, it's
they want to hold you down.
Positive. What's the positive?
They want to hold you down.
To understand it's just they just want to be just a complete a-hole. But yeah, I mean, Delaware's one that they've looked the best. Like, this would probably be a preview of the CUSA championship, because Liberty looks terrible. I'm going to lose so much money on Liberty, by the way. But Liberty looks terrible, and these two teams are probably the two best teams of the conference.
All right, we got 3 games tonight. Let's run them down. Gabe and I are basically on opposite sides of all these, so you could kind of split the decision here. San Jose State laying 1.5 at home against New Mexico.
I took San Jose State here. This is the conference opener. Now, the logic was it didn't work out last night either. I was going to fade the Rio Grande rivalry, where I thought Sam Houston was live last night, because the rivalry game, New Mexico State last week, happened. I thought, okay, big game. I think they stormed the field even. So I thought, hey, good opportunity. New Mexico won that game. They stormed. But State looked good last night.
Like storming the field after beating the New Mexico State Aggies. I love that.
Yeah. Think about
right?
that for a second.
But let me make this case about New Mexico. I have both these win total overs. And,
hey, they're
and
a good team, Colby. I'm disappointed in you. I'm disappointed in you that you don't know. Like, dude, their one loss is against Michigan, and they hung around with Michigan. You know this guy. Remember last year at Idaho, he went to Eugene, Oregon, only lost by 10 to the Ducks that were murdering everybody. This guy can effing coach.
I was on them with the points against Michigan. I was also on them on the money line against UCLA. But here's my thing on taking San Jose. San Jose had one of the most painful losses of last week. They were up the entire game, and the way they lost that game. And then also, if you look back at what New Mexico's done, okay, throw the Michigan game out because that's Michigan, right? The team that gave them the most trouble was Idaho State, who runs the run and shoot. Well, what does San Jose State run? They run the run and shoot, spread and shred offense from Stutzman from Hawaii, right? So I think that is the logic on why it will be a tough matchup, especially they just storm the field there off their rival.
So you're expecting points? Because I think San Jose will score, points. And New Mexico is going to score on San Jose. So we got to bet the over, guys, right?
Oh yeah, and if you saw the San Jose game last week, I mean, guys, I didn't have a play on that game against Stanford, but I have it for the win.
And you know they wanted that bad against Stanford too. Bay Area rival, big name, Stanford. Even if Stanford's down, that's a feather in a cap win for the kids on San Jose State.
They were leading the whole way. Like, I saw the final score, Colby. How did they lose that then? Because they were. I saw that, and then I saw the finals. Like, wow, they lost.
They went prevent like the final 12 minutes of the game. I mean, it was. I mean, I couldn't imagine being a fan of San Jose State last week, because every play.
So no
was
concern about. A lot of times, college kids don't bounce back. They are no concern that they're crushed after losing like the way that they did. They lost at home earlier to Central Michigan. This is a big game for them. Their season's on the line tonight. Let's call it off what it is.
Yeah, no, you're 100%. And look, I have a guy that has them on the win total over. I have them to make the Mountain West Championship. I even sprinkle them to make to win the Mountain West Championship. I'm terrified because they look awful so far this year. But here's their opportunity: conference play. This is their first conference game of the season. I'm just hoping that Niumatalolo gets through with them, because they gets through to them, because they actually were better than Stanford. They just let them off the hook.
All right, BYU lay nearly 3 touchdowns on West Virginia.
Yeah, I foolishly I think took West Virginia, and I think Gabe made a great point. We were just
You
talking
got buyer's
about
remorse
this.
before kickoff already.
Well, fifth, like when you're that deep and you're getting your first ever start on the road at Lavelle Edwards Stadium, it's pretty terrifying. Now, my thing is this though: BYU, their offense. I watched them against East Carolina. I watched them against Colorado. I don't think that offense is really fine-tuned. If anything, I think they're kind of a phony undefeated team, but they play hard for Sataki. So like I can see them not scoring a lot of points this game. The problem is, can West Virginia score any? That's why I'm a little scared, and that's why I might have buyer's remorse. Is like I forgot to think about first road start of his career. So a little terrified, but I'm on the points, but I'm a little terrified of that.
All right. And then the last one, Colorado State, San Diego State.
I took the over. That's probably my favorite play on the board.
Really?
I just refuse to believe these offenses can be that bad. I still like
such a low total. It's so low.
Yeah. I still like San Diego State, but I mean the line stinks to high hack.
Yeah. 4.5 and then 40.5. Oh boy, San Diego State's got 2 shutouts already. Colorado State couldn't score last week. 6 stinking points against Washington State. I had them. As you're going over 40.5. Interesting. We'll take a break. We'll come back. We got a great lineup of games, or at least a halfway decent lineup of games tomorrow. We'll run down most of them or some of them with Colby with his thoughts on those. In-game live game day here on the Grid.
Ashton Genty, between yards and yards before contact and yards after contact, all these sorts of, they're giving him nothing. He is getting hit constantly behind the line of scrimmage, multiple yards behind the line of scrimmage, and frankly, at this point, I think he's essentially out of the race, and this is partly due to Emeka Buka having a great year, Tyler Warren putting up big numbers, Tet McMillan, I think, is maybe the most talented player overall in the rookie class.
Pro Football Today, only on SportsGrid.
The leader right now in the clubhouse in the odds market is Fernando Mendoza. College football purists, yep, absolutely know that guy. Fantastic. He's a great quarterback. Non-purists who are tuning in just for the biggest games, who is this guy, Joe, and how did he get here?
Well, he came from Cal. He's a mobile kid. He's big. He's about 6'3", about 220. He's a gutty kid and had a great performance for Kirk Signetti.
SportsGrid's College Football Today.
We're in a weird place with Trevor Lawrence. This was another one of these quote-unquote can't-miss generational quarterback prospects, right? Everybody was salivating over when he was a freshman winning national championships. And here we are, about 5 years later, looking at ourselves going, is it just time for Trevor Lawrence to get a change of venue or something? Like, what's got to give here? Hopefully this Liam Cohen offense starts to come together.
Fantasy Sports Today, only on SportsGrid.
The Americans got to find answers in these partnerships, and I think they need to look at who's making these decisions from a stat standpoint.
Well, it's so funny to me, especially coming off of the Walker Cup just a few weeks before, how it just seems like there's this glaring chasm between American partnered match play and American individual singles match play.
The Smiley Show, only on SportsGrid.
All right, welcome back. In-game live, game day here on the Grid. Scott and Gabe, hour number 1 of our 2-hour extravaganza. So we got some college football. We got Charlotte threatening to score. First and goal at the South Florida 6-yard line, down 26-0. We got Delaware just kicked off for third quarter, leading Western Kentucky 17-10. And I'll throw it out there. Brown leading Rhode Island 21-14. How about that? So decent slate of games. Yeah. Talk with Colby. Decent slate of games. I'm going to start with our boy Bill Belichick at home. Kind of I don't know what we're going to get out of Clemson. You got two teams that have issues galore all over the place. Clemson, a 14.5-point road favorite. Over/under is 46.5. How do you see this one playing out?
I'm gonna die hard like Bruce Willis on Clemson here. I mean, you got 2 weeks here. You got 2 weeks to prep for one of the worst offenses in Power 5 football.
Really.
All right, and you're like, let's be honest. Like Clemson's been terrible, but they have guys that are projected to be in the NFL. Multiple guys.
You're bang on.
At what point? Yeah, at some point.
That's why, Colby. Let me just throw it out there. I'm tired of the low-hanging fruit of Dabo hasn't adjusted to the NIL and to the transfer portal. I'm like, they got 3 guys like that are going to be in the top 15 of the NFL draft. Did they lose to Syracuse because they don't have better players? I question his in-game coaching, but I don't question the whole portal and all that stuff. I agree, Colby. They still have better players than everybody, but they lose.
Yeah. And especially, and I agree with you, man. But especially North Carolina guys. I was in Chapel Hill week 1 for the TCU game, and I've been to a lot of football games. That might have been the worst football game I've been in my life. All right, like there is just nobody on that roster that pops. All right, so and then I learned that he was in like Nantucket last weekend or throughout the week. The guy's got a bye week. Focus on Clemson. This guy's in love over here.
They made a big mistake hiring him. They made a big mistake.
I mean,
like, how long does he last?
Wow.
Well, I think he might resign after the year. Like, if he keeps getting lit up, like you said, Colby. So with Clemson, like the North Carolina Tar Heels against real teams, so they beat Richmond, right? So they beat Richmond and they beat Charlotte. So who are gone?
And let
look,
me tell you,
Scott, they only beat Charlotte 23. Scott, look, South Florida 26-0 right now. Like,
that game was closer than the score indicates too. The yardage was almost dead even in that game. They're terrible. They honestly, they might be the worst Power 5 in all of Power 5 football. So I'm laying it with Clemson. Like I feel like another thing is this. We saw this last year with Dabo. For whatever reason, they had their struggles in September, and they figured it out and they made it to the ACC championship. You only have 2 losses in conference. Who cares about the LSU game? Every ACC championship game for most years has a team with 3 losses in there. So you're good. You're almost still playing with house money to a certain extent.
Yeah, you want Florida State to win tomorrow now. Just sort of shake things up, have people start losing, Scott. You know what I mean? Have the Canes lose, which is a big one. I just want to throw something out there. And Wetzel, you're a big trend guy. And I wanted Colby's take on this because the numbers, the total is high for a military academy. Low-hanging fruit once again, but anybody that's ever bet in the betting industry knows the drill. We got a report for duty. Military academies play against each other. 47-12. 47-12 since 2005 to the under when military academies play against each other. But, Colby, we got a pretty high total here for a military academy game. It was 52.5. It's come down 51.5 now.
And I'm all over it, man. I am all over it. And I took Air Force in the points. Look, I got burned on Air Force last week against Hawaii. But here, I think Navy's a really good team, but I think the fact you play you practice this all off season. You practice against this. I know their defensive numbers are terrible, like historically bad right now at Air Force over the past 10, 15 years. But I think this is what they need. And I took Rice in the points against Navy last week. That thing hit.
Option versus option.
Yes, and there's only going to be like 8 possessions in these games. That's why you love the unders. I'm shocked at the number, to tell you the truth. I thought, I understand they plug it in, it's probably using an algorithm based on how bad Air Force's defense has been this year. But I still think you gotta. Where's the human part of this where you say, well, this is a service academy on service academy rivalry game. I'm all over the under, and I'm also loading up on the points. Those are like 2 of my bigger bets tomorrow.
And think about this: most of those came when they stopped the clock after first downs, and the game still went under. So now that they don't do that, there's no chance of them getting
that's a good point.
How about ACC? We'll go back there. Virginia getting 6.5. Undefeated Virginia again, or actually with 3-1 Virginia against undefeated Louisville, or maybe it's the other way around. The Cardinals at home laying 6.5.
Yeah, I think this might be my favorite play on the board. I like Louisville minus the points. I love the normally when you storm the field, I love fading that because you've been partying all week, especially at Virginia. Virginia hasn't had a win like that since the 90s. So like that alone, but I also think Virginia's pass defense is being like propped up by the fact they haven't played many pass happy teams. I think it's a terrible pass defense, right? And if you look at three of their opponents, they can't really throw the pass. Even Florida State, they don't just sit back there with Castellanos. They run them. They get a little creative. I mean, he threw for some to Deuce Robinson a bunch, but I think that pass defense is pretty bad, and you don't want to play Jeff Brom and those wideouts and Miller Moss to me when you have that bad of a pass defense. Because Chris Bell and Colin Lacey, those guys are, I think they'll be NFL wideouts. So I love laying the number here, and then you add in the way they've been partying all week. I mean, I've seen videos of players having a good time downtown. I'm all over this. Let's go.
Love that. These guys, yeah. They've been hooking up with prettier girls than they have ever in their lives before all week. I mean, like everything's like everything. They're in the cloud nine. ESPN's talking about them, and like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'll be selfish on the way out here. Michigan Wolverines in the morning. They're laying 17. Yeah, I think Fickle's going to get fired eventually, anyways. But is this a statement game for Wisconsin? But their offense is pathetic, Colby. Like, it's pathetic. I don't think they're going to be able to move the ball.
Yeah, and especially Billy Edwards, questionable that he's been injured for a bunch. I'm all over Michigan here. Lay it.
Colby, great job as always, man. We'll do it again soon. Thanks a lot for all the winners.
Ashton Genty, between yards and yards before contact and yards after contact, all these sorts of, they're giving him nothing. He is getting hit constantly behind the line of scrimmage, multiple yards behind the line of scrimmage, and frankly, at this point, I think he's essentially out of the race, and this is partly due to Emeka Buka having a great year, Tyler Warren putting up big numbers, Tet McMillan, I think, is maybe the most talented player overall in the rookie class.
Pro Football Today, only on SportsGrid.
The leader right now in the clubhouse in the odds market is Fernando Mendoza. College football purists, yep, absolutely know that guy. Fantastic. He's a great quarterback. Non-purists who are tuning in just for the biggest games, who is this guy, Joe, and how did he get here?
Well, he came from Cal. He's a mobile kid. He's big. He's about 6'3", about 220. He's a gutty kid and had a great performance for Kirk Signetti.
SportsGrid's College Football Today.
We're in a weird place with Trevor Lawrence. This was another one of these quote-unquote can't-miss generational quarterback prospects, right? Everybody was salivating over when he was a freshman winning national championships. And here we are, about 5 years later, looking at ourselves going, is it just time for Trevor Lawrence to get a change of venue or something? Like, what's got to give here? Hopefully this Liam Cohen offense starts to come together.
Fantasy Sports Today, only on SportsGrid.
The Americans got to find answers in these partnerships, and I think they need to look at their who's making these decisions from a stat standpoint.
Well, it's so funny to me, especially coming off of the Walker Cup just a few weeks before, how it just seems like there's this glaring chasm between American partnered match play and American individual, singles match play.
The Smiley Show, only on SportsGrid.
All right, welcome back in Game Live. Game Day here on the grid. Thanks again, Colby Dant. Check out his work. It's called the College Experience Podcast. It is on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network at your favorite podcast store. So thanks again to Colby, who joins us all the time here on the grid. Always good guy checking in with him. So a lot of games.
Yeah, I like his passion for college football. Yeah, he's fired up. I like it. Yeah. I got some trends, Scott, I'll rattle off for everybody. I know you like trends. I'll just bang them off here. So we talked about it. Military academy teams when they play each other, guys. unders and matchups between service academies are 47, 12, and 1 since the 2005 season. So it's a pretty big sample size, guys, and we can go deeper. It's like 53 and 15, et cetera, whatever. It's an under. We play it. If we lose it, we live with it. Cal and Duke. I know you're intrigued by Cal, Scott. I like Cal plus the 3 in that game, but the underdog is 5-0 against the spread in Cal games. And Justin Wilcox, one of the better coaches in the country that people don't talk about, 63, 34, and 1 against the spread. Not him, but underdogs in games that he coaches in, right? And they're always the underdog. Let's call it for what it is. How often are Cal favorites, right? So he says, and they're a dog at home. And it's a tough trip, Scott. It's one of the toughest trips. Remember last year, Miami nearly lost. They got lucky with a call in the end zone. Like, it was a crazy game. It's not easy, Scott, playing at like 11 Eastern in Berkeley, California. Those kids are all like baking, like they're smoking bongs, they're smoking weed in the parking lot. They're all lit up. Everyone's drunk. Like it's like funky there. You know what I mean? So you're weirded out. You're not used to it. You're like, man, this is freaking me. I'm not used to this. Like, you're in Berkeley, California on a Saturday night. It gets wild out there. Like,
yeah, and think about this game, and I'm going to bring this up in my opposite picks next hour. Who'd they play last week, Duke? Syracuse, at Syracuse. This is not the NFL.
East Coast all the way. So they go all the way to New York, upstate New York, and then all the way to the other side of the country.
North Carolina, then all the way out there,
Oh,
so
and another trend, Scott.
That's not easy.
Another trend, too. ACC teams, they never cover, bro. Like Miami nearly lost at Cal. When Cal and Cal go on the road to on the ACC, they get lit up. Like, they're not as good. These teams are not used to the travel. If you'll notice, the Big Ten are a little bit more pro-like. They don't automatically lose on the other coast, but ACC teams, Scott, often lose on the other coast.
Well, think about the ACC. They're all bunched together. At least in the Big Ten, okay, I'm going from Iowa to Pennsylvania from Penn State.
You're right. ACC, they're taking buses to the game. You're right. It's like, we're getting on the bus. Like,
Where's the plane? No,
you're right. You're right. Michigan ain't taking a bus to Rutgers. They're used to flying to New York City and these places. You're right.
How about the ACC, though? I will say, right, we railed on this.
Hey, it's a good conference this year. There's a lot of good teams there.
Yeah, and this week in particular, right? I mean, out of all the conferences...
Who do you like, Miami or FSU? I like Miami.
I like Miami. Miami, too. I like Miami.
-4? It's fair price. It's not too high.
Fair price. They whacked them pretty good last year, Miami. I'd like to see Florida State win just because I hate Miami, but
I don't disrespect FSU. So I'm not like, they're going to get lit up. I thought last year was an anomaly. Like, they got lit up, the wheels fell off, whatever. You could see they're good, but I don't think they're all the way back, Scott, on Miami's level. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But you got a rivalry game, Tallahassee, Saturday night. You talk about wild scenes. It's, a lot of wild scenes this weekend, like as far as these rivalries and stuff. But they're damn good, Miami. This is a tough test, though, right? If you look at Miami, Scott, their games have been at home, right? Like they're sort of test games. They've been at home. So now they're going, it is in state, though. So I think they're going to be fine. Like, I think it'll be close, but I like a higher scoring game, too. I think it'll be one of the, classic Miami FSU higher scoring games.
I got to see a team score on Miami. That he's got some pro players on that defense.
Yeah, and we just saw Virginia go up and down the field on FSU, Scott. What the hell is Carson Beck and those guys going to do to them then? You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah. But at least the ACC this week, I mean, you got Louisville, Virginia, good game. You got the Miami game, even SMU, Syracuse, not a bad game. So
Georgia Tech's a good football team, even though they lost last week. Still a good football team.
Yeah, so you got some halfway decent games this week from the ACC. But yeah,
your boy Matt Rule. I was going to say your boy Matt Rule, money burner. We know you know all about like Nebraska 0-28, last ranked 28, top 25 games. I found this, so he doesn't win games that he's not supposed to, but also he's 3-10-1 against the spread. Last 14 games, a Big Ten favorite, and they're laid 12.5 in what's expected to be a very windy night and a windy game, Scott. I don't think Nebraska are 2 touchdowns better than Michigan State. I think it's a toss-up.
Yeah, I could see them losing. I really,
Childs is a good quarterback. You saw Michigan State punch back against USC on the road. That was impressive.
Still play against Boston College 2 weeks back, and they looked good on offense. So, hour number 2 coming up next.
Cash and Genty between yards and yards before contact and yards after contact, all these sorts of, they're giving him nothing. He is getting hit constantly behind the line of scrimmage, multiple yards behind the line of scrimmage. And frankly, at this point, I think he's essentially out of the race. And this is partly due to Emeka Buka having a great year, Tyler Warren putting up big numbers. Ted McMillan, I think, is maybe the most talented player overall in the rookie class.
Pro Football Today, only on SportsGrid.
The leader right now in the clubhouse in the odds market is Fernando Mendoza. College football purists, yep, absolutely know that guy. Fantastic. He's a great quarterback. Non-purists who are tuning in just for the biggest games, who is this guy, Joe, and how did he get here?
Well, he came from Cal. He's a mobile kid. He's big. He's about 6'3", about 220. He's a gutty kid and had a great performance for Kirk Signetti.
SportsGrid's College Football Today.
We're in a weird place with Trevor Lawrence. This was another one of these quote-unquote can't-miss generational quarterback prospects, right? Everybody was salivating over when he was a freshman winning national championships. And here we are, about 5 years later, looking at ourselves going, is it just time for Trevor Lawrence to get a change of venue or something? Like, what's got to give here? Hopefully this Liam Cohen offense starts to come together.
Fantasy Sports Today, only on SportsGrid.
The Americans got to find answers in these partnerships, and I think they need to look at their who's making these decisions from a stat standpoint.
Well, it's so funny to me, especially coming off of the Walker Cup just a few weeks before, how it just seems like there's this glaring chasm between American partnered match play and American individual singles match play.
The Smiley Show, only on SportsGrid.
All right, welcome back in Game Live. Game Day here on the grid. Hour number 2. Scott and Gabe until 10 p.m. Eastern time. We got some college football, a little WNBA. They've reached the half, and Phoenix leading at 50-45 in a higher scoring game than I anticipated. That is for sure. So,
me too.
The numbers, right? I mean, I didn't think this was going to be the case. Phoenix. A 3.5-point dog to start. Now a 3.5-point favorite, up 5. Over under is 176.5. Yikes! He had 95 points. That's an 80-point plus still second half. I would think somewhere along the line this thing would get into a half-court game, Gabe, and things would settle in a little bit. I hate betting unders, but I like the under in the game, so I'm predetermined like under with this game. But 80 points plus in the second half is a lot.
Strange first half in the sense, guys, that they put up 95 points. Asia Wilson's got 9 points. Now, I did bet Asia under 26.5 tonight, but you would figure put it this way, you figure, oh my God, 50-45, and we must have, how are our props doing? Not great, Scott, to be honest. Like, I'm really kind of underwhelmed. I'm like, really? How the hell did Vegas score 45 points? Jackie Young has 8. So what, we got her, you and I both have her, right? You got her over. Is that the one we agreed with? Or is it Chelsea Gray we're on? Are you on Jackie Young over as well? I got Jackie Young over 17.5, and I got Gray over. Okay. She's only got 3 points. She's got 3 points. The hell? She's played 17 minutes, too. She only took 3 shots. Like that's just strange. Like, the star players on Vegas really didn't do anything. Jewel Lloyd contributed 13 off the bench, and Dana Evans contributed 10 off the bench. So they got 23 bench points. Kind of their bench kind of scored half their points, which is rare. And then you got Phoenix, who dropped 50, and Phoenix are just so dynamic, Scott. Right? Alyssa Thomas has got 10. Kalia Coppers tonight. She's the one they sort of trade off, which makes them dangerous. She's got 19. Sabali's sort of right on pace. I'm surprised she doesn't have more than 2 rebounds. She only got 2 rebounds, but she's got 9 points. Alyssa Thomas, double-double. She's got 10 points, 6 assists, and 2 rebounds. A lot of basketball left, and there'll be a lot of drama left in this game. But I feel pretty good about my Phoenix plus 3.5, 4 right now.
Yeah, looking real good. Well, I told you, I grabbed that. They lost game 1 to New York, And I like them, or it was kind of, I like them, and I didn't think New York was really going to win the series. And I grabbed them at 25-1 to win the whole thing. Not a lot, but a couple shekels. So I'm sitting on that 25-1. So I'm rooting for them. I am. Can this continue? Like, they're shooting 53%. Vegas is shooting 47, which is pretty good. 31% from three, 47% from three, and the two teams have combined to hit 11 of 13 free throws. So they're both hitting their free throws as well. That's why I said I don't know if that's going to continue second half. It's weird. Vegas,
it's got to slow down a bit.
For Vegas, yeah.
I'm not betting it.
4 matchups, not even close to this number. So
I'm not going to bet under 176.5, but we've seen this before where there's a bunch of points in the first half. It's a finals game. The Vegas, the Aces too, we've seen this where they give up a bunch of points and they really clamp down after. Like Becky Hammond won't stand for this. Like, she's flipping out right now in the room, right? We gave up 50 effing points in the first half of a final game. But Vegas do this, Scott. We saw it against Seattle. They have they're not a great defensive team. Like, they have to really work at it. If you'll notice with Vegas too, they're not very young. You know what I mean? Like, they're kind of older girls. So I think teams have caught on to, let's make Vegas run. Like, Asia Wilson is big. Let's make her, gallop up and down the court all night. Jackie Young and Chelsea Gray, Jewel Lloyd, they've been around a while. Let's sort of, you could tell, Phoenix are playing up tempo on them. But it's what makes Phoenix a dangerous team, and great bet that you have them in your back pocket on a future. Yeah. That they can win a low score. They can win, Scott, one of those 74, 72 games. Phoenix have no problem in that. But if you want to get into a track meet, Phoenix can put points up on the board. That's what makes them so dangerous. They're not predicated on one style. They can beat you in many ways, Phoenix. And they have different players that can go off too. They're not just dependent on one player or two players.
Yeah. Two sides to a coin, right? So it all depends on how you view these things. But Las Vegas only has 20 points, Gabe, from their starters. Now, you could say, well, okay, you know what, that they're due that second half, right? I'm not going to look at it that way. I'm going to look at it as, boy, I got 25 points from my bench. Is that going to happen? Second, are they going to get 50 points for their bench?
I think that if you're Vegas, you're not happy about the defensive performance, but I would say, devil's advocate, I thought you were going to say too. If I'm Vegas, I'm looking, Asia Wilson has 9 points only in a game in which there were 95 points scored in the first half. She's going to go off, right? And they're down by 5 only. I don't have in-game numbers. Let's see for the finals if they did. Let me see if they give me. They better, I don't know why, Bet365 doesn't. They don't have in-game WNBA player props.
Really?
Which annoys me, yeah. And you know what's stupid? I could look at this. So I can't bet total points and stuff on the players right now, but I can bet on who's going to make the next field goal. So who's going to make the first field goal of the second half?
You can bet it on that.
Yeah, because that's hard, and they know you're going to lose.
Yeah, exactly. I got 10 players I can be betting on here, and you're probably getting 3-1 on the
How
price.
about this guy? Asia Wilson's minus 1,200 to score the next basket. That's insane. You can't bet the no, though. There's no bet, because otherwise I'd be I'll bet the no at that price. Yeah. Chelsea Gray minus 190. I don't even know what this means. Next involvement. All right. Oh, here we go. Field goal or assist. Next 2-point shot. Next, you can bet. They got all kinds of whacked out stuff.
Chelsea Gray points is 7.5 right now. What was her total?
She'll go over. She's at 10.5.
10.5.
She's at 3. She was only at 6 or something the other night. Remember, she scored a lot of points in the fourth quarter the other night.
Because she only has 3 shots. So she's got to be at the locker room saying, well, what am I doing? Or at least they're telling her, what are you doing? You're out there for 17 minutes.
Yeah, how does she only have 3? They need her to score. Exactly. They need her contribution. I don't understand that. 3 shots in a game that there's nearly 100 points. I don't that's why I'm baffled. Yeah. I'm flicking around. I'm watching football, CFL, college, WNBA. So I'm watching it, but like I said, you look at the box score of this game, Scott, it's kind of a head-scratching, kind of weird. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It doesn't add up. You're how do you have so many points, but no one's really done anything? It's bizarro world.
It is. As I said, the bench is so wacky and just but that's why I think, they're going to I may put a couple shekels on the under. This can't continue. It's just none of their games this year. Last year they had some high-scoring games. But this year, it was either 140s or 160s. 2 games in the 140s, 2 games in the 160s, not in the 170s like we're on pace for right now. And I just think, opening game number 1, national TV. I'll credit the WNBA for starting the series tonight when there's really nothing else going on. I'll criticize them for playing game 2 on a Sunday afternoon in the middle of football. I mean, that's pretty dopey. But at least the hoop.
That's ABC's call.
Yeah,
that's ABC's call, right? So, because they want counter. They figure it's a different audience than the NFL. Counter programming, Scott. Look, CBS has NFL, NBC has NFL on the night. Fox has NFL. What does ABC have on Sunday? They don't have anything.
Yeah, nothing.
Right? They got it. Now they got WNBA now. You know what I'm saying? Because that's their thing, Scott. Right? What are they known for? NBA on Sunday afternoons.
NBA.
That's sort of their thing.
True.
Basketball Sunday afternoon.
Yeah. All right, I'm going to go under 176.5. I got the under from the original number. That's probably going to be.
I like it.
But I'm going to double down. I'm going to think this is
bad
going to
news.
slow down at least a little bit.
Western Kentucky have taken a lead, 20-17 Hilltoppers.
We need points though, right? You need points in that game.
Yeah, it is up to 63.5 actually.
Yeah, how about that? All right, more coming up in Game Live.
Enter into the magical world of McLuck.com, where even the smallest of spins can win real cash prizes. Adventure into over 1,000 of the best Vegas-style slot games. So what are you waiting for? Unlock your free welcome offer today. Join the fun where winners play and players win.
Well, Shadur, which quarterbacks are you talking about? Because there's some bad quarterback play out there, but the dude who can't beat Dylan Gabriel out for a job and can't beat Joe Flacco out for a job certainly can't lay claim to being better than any other quarterback in the league.
The Craig Carton Show. Only on SportsGrid.
MVP hopes, as far as my eyes can see, out of here. No way. No way. Not with what I'm seeing around this league right now. Josh Allen should be in front of him. He is. Herbert should be in front of him. He's not just yet. Jalen Hurts should be in front of Lamar Jackson. People may not want to hear that, but it's true. Jordan Love is in front of Lamar Jackson. That's a pump the brakes special. Come on now.
Game time decisions. Only on SportsGrid.
Major League Baseball has decided it is time to put balls and strikes not just in the hands of the umpires, but also the robot umpires, as they say. The ABS system is now officially in place starting next season. Now, keep in mind, they're not just throwing this out there. They have used this at the Arizona Fall League, and they've also used it at different levels of the minor leagues as well.
Newswire. Only on SportsGrid.
Everything changed at that point. They went and got Jonquel Jones, and they really had that triple threat monster team. That second year they lost in the WNBA Finals, 3-1 against the Las Vegas Aces. Year 3, they finally get over the top hump. And you can question whether they should have won the title with that foul call late in Game 5 that sent Breanna Stewart to the foul line.
Betting above the rim. Only on SportsGrid.
All right, welcome back in Game Live. Game Day here on the grid. So quick check of the board before we go to a little baseball talk. Some interesting baseball lines. Welcome back in Game Live, Scott and Gabe. We got South Florida at the half. They scored a touchdown after Charlotte did, so their lead maintains at 26, 33-7. And freaking Delaware turned the ball over. Fudge.
God, they're on the 4-yard line.
Yeah. What happened? Must have been an interception in the end zone? Now Western Kentucky leading to 20-17, has it at their own 20. 4.5.
And a total dip from 63.5 to 57. Like, we actually just lost 7 points for real off the board. Like, even the computer was like, yeah, that's 7 off the board. Like, damn.
Wow.
Damn.
I got to tease.
We would have been on a nice little pace there. What a big
yeah,
difference. Hey, Scott, like, man, we'd be up 24-17 right now. We'd be up. We'd be at 41 right now. Now we got to get a freaking stop. Like, we can't fall behind by 10.
And we got the whole field, too. 80 yards we got to go, which is time-consuming, obviously. So, versus kicking
that
off and
sucked.
maybe getting the ball
That
for
really
30,
sucked.
35. Yeah. But we hit that last night. The same freaking thing last night with the Rams game with the dope fumbling at the 1 yard line. I still can't believe we lost that game. I still can't.
Right when you said, should they let them score? I'm like, no.
I said it. And you said,
freaking
no,
Kieran Williams.
You said, no, because
fumbles
happens. And then 10 seconds later,
right away.
the guy fumbled. 10 seconds later. Oh, man. At least McVay took ownership last night. As we were talking in the break, he said he effed up with that call, which was, I don't quite understand the call. I really don't. And then as we were talking, and I mentioned on my podcast, I swear, I don't know if they knew that if they kicked the field goal there, that the game wasn't over. The way they were talking between McVay and Stafford saying, we didn't come here to tie, it's like, you got 4 minutes left, and you got 2 timeouts, and you had the 2-minute warning. The game's not over. Yes, you're tying the game, but the game is long.
Yeah, it wasn't
over.
sudden death. Exactly. It wasn't win or lose. Wasn't win or lose.
They knew that. I really don't.
With the field goal.
Yeah. So anyway, baseball. Explain this to me, Gabe. You're a Dodgers fan, so I'll give you this one first. Dodgers with Ohtani, no less, on the hill. Underdogs game 1 against Sanchez and the Phillies, yet they're favorites in the series. How does that make it?
Makes no sense. Zero. Don't understand it. You know as well as I do, Scott. The game 1 line always reflects the series line for the most part.
Right.
All the time. Look at an NBA series, even like a lopsided. Oh, look, the Sixers are 11.5-point favorites against the Pistons in game 1, and they're minus 450 on the money line. Series price minus 450 generally, right? It's generally like the same thing, like Scott said. And what, is Ohtani a stiff, Scott? Like, do they have a weak link on the hill or something?
Yeah, there's just something we don't know.
Yeah, it's like, oh, well, they're favored to win the series, but they won't win today because, because of what? Like, okay. I don't get it. So I'll give my predictions here. And listen, guys, baseball is tough. Anything can happen here. But I like the Dodgers tomorrow, but I think the Dodgers are going to win the series. I do think the Dodgers are going to win the series. But going in order here, the Mariners are. You could argue, is it a trap that the Mariners are only minus 170 favorites against the Detroit Tigers? I mean, Skubal, he's only a 5-game series. Skubal can't pitch every game for them. Seattle really do have a deep-ass rotation. They're going to have a pitching, you know what I mean? Even when they pitch against Skubal, they won't be, overwhelmed. They're hitting the baseball. They just have that, mojo going right now. I think the Tigers are just up against it. So I like the Mariners here at minus 170. The Brewers and the Cubs have sort of gone back and forth a little bit, but you and I have been on the air enough, Scott, to see the Milwaukee Brewers are a good baseball team, right? They're good offensively. They actually score runs. They got great pitching. They don't really have any weaknesses besides the fact they're the Brewers. They don't really have star players. Nobody believes in them. During their massive win streaks, I mean, guys, they were like the best record in baseball 2 months in a row. And they were never big favorites, really. Like, they just don't get any love. And the fact that the Cubs are such a public team, I'm realizing there's actually value on the Brewers here. The Brewers are the better baseball team. I don't like the Cubs staff, guys. The Cubs kind of strung this together. I don't know if the Cubs have enough. The Cubs had enough pitching to get through a 3-game series. I don't know if they have enough pitching to get through a 5-game series against the Brewers. Give me the Brewers. Blue Jays, bad postseason history. The last time they were in the playoffs, it was the 1-game wild card, and they blew a 7-0 lead to the Mariners, and they got knocked out. Vlad Guerrero Jr. in his history hasn't really been good in the playoffs. Bo Bichette doesn't appear as if though he's ready to play yet. Can the unknown sort of, the unheralded Blue Jay players that were so good in the regular season come through for them? Aaron Judge is dominant in Toronto. there's a lot to like about the Yankees coming into this as sort of that, upstart team. But I don't agree with them being a minus 150 favorite. I think that's ridiculous. I think the Blue Jays are getting disrespected. The Blue Jays have good pitchers. You have Gossman going in game one. They're playing it close to the vest with game two, but I think it's going to be the kid Yusevich because they want him at home instead of on the road. And then you got Bieber and Bassett. All right. And then you're back to Gossman in game five. So the Blue Jays pitching is pretty solid. And they got Anthony Santander's back right now from injury. Right? If they could just ride this wave of magic that they got going on at home here, the Blue Jays, I think this series is going 5 games, guys. But I think the Blue Jays at plus 125 is the bet. And I respect the Phillies, but I think they're a little overrated. And this is a hot take, Scott, but if you actually look at it, people talk, and even I've taken pot shots at the American League Central. The National League East was the worst division in baseball. It was bad this year, right? Yeah. The Marlins are the Marlins. They're just, whatever. The Braves were totally injured and terrible this year. So, it was really, and the Mets. So, and the Mets were bad for the last 2. Yeah, and Washington are brutal. The Mets were bad for the last 2 months of the season. I'm wondering how good Philadelphia actually are, Scott. Let's see how good they are. Give me the Dodgers. I think the Dodgers win the series in 4 games, plus 300.
The Yankee one is the really one that kind of stands out. It's like Yankees, again, like the Dodgers, they're underdogs in game one. At least the Dodgers aren't like a monster face. Yankees are minus.
Oh, yeah, that's a weird one.
Yeah. FanDuel, right? But they're getting plus 106 in game one. I mean,
so they're telling you, yeah, they're going to win the series, going to lose game one. Then wait to bet the Yankees. Like that's according to that's what I'm saying, Scott. Like kind of weird then that they have 156 and you're going to spot the Blue Jays a game in a 5-game series.
Yeah. Opposite picks coming up next. Don't go anywhere.
Ashton Genty between yards and yards before contact and yards after contact, all these sorts of, they're giving him nothing. He is getting hit constantly behind the line of scrimmage, multiple yards behind the line of scrimmage, and frankly, at this point, I think he's essentially out of the race, and this is partly due to Emeka Buka having a great year, Tyler Warren putting up big numbers, Ted McMillan, I think, is maybe the most talented player overall in the rookie class.
Pro Football Today, only on SportsGrid.
The leader right now in the clubhouse in the odds market is Fernando Mendoza. College football purists, yep, absolutely know that guy. Fantastic. He's a great quarterback. Non-purists who are tuning in just for the biggest games, who is this guy, Joe, and how did he get here?
He came from Cal. He's a mobile kid. He's big. He's about 6'3", about 220. He's a gutty kid and had a great performance for Kirk Signetti.
SportsGrid's College Football Today.
We're in a weird place with Trevor Lawrence. This was another one of these quote-unquote can't-miss generational quarterback prospects, right? Everybody was salivating over when he was a freshman winning national championships. And here we are, about 5 years later, looking at ourselves going, is it just time for Trevor Lawrence to get a change of venue or something? Like, what's got to give here? Hopefully this Liam Cohen offense starts to come together.
Fantasy Sports Today, only on SportsGrid.
The Americans got to find answers in these partnerships, and I think they need to look at their who's making these decisions from a stat standpoint.
Well, it's so funny to me, especially coming off of the Walker Cup just a few weeks before, how it just seems like there's this glaring chasm between American partnered match play and American individual, singles match play.
The Smiley Show, only on SportsGrid.
music means time to take out the pad and pencils and get set for the fastest and, more importantly, most profitable 5 minutes in television, Opposite Picks. What are Opposite Picks, you newbies ask? Well, we give you 7 games, 7,000 reasons why we like one team, and then we go opposite. Why? Because despite all the stats, trends, hunches, injury reports, systems, and everything else, nobody beats the boys in Vegas. Although I must say, we're doing a pretty good job of beating the boys in Vegas. We're only 10-25. This is by far, not even close, the worst in 25 years of doing this that I've started the season. But it's a marathon, not a sprint. So here we go, 7-pack. How about Kentucky getting 19.5 against Georgia? Quick quiz. Besides Alabama, who's played the mighty Georgia Bulldogs the toughest in the SEC over the Kirby Smart years? Yeah, believe it or not, Kentucky. Last 9 meetings, Georgia has beaten the Cats by 11 points or less 4 times. They're only 4-5 against the spread against Kentucky. Why? Because Kirby and Kentucky head coach Mark Stoops are best friends. Their wives are best friends. They go on vacation with each other, believe it or not. And now Kentucky fans are screaming for Stoops' job. No way in the world Kirby runs up the score on his best buddy. Cats 7-0 against the spread as well as 15-point conference dogs. Love Kentucky here. Give me Georgia minus 19.5. Pick number 2, Alabama laying 11.5 against Vandy. Bama's had this game circled for a year. They want revenge for last year's upset loss, which does not happen often, folks. They beat Vandy 23 straight times, 37 of their last 38 meetings, but somehow they lost. This is a steal. Bama 6-1 straight up and against the spread as 15-point or less home favorites, which they are obviously here. Love Alabama here. Give me Vandy, plus the 11.5. Pick number 3, Boise State getting 20.5 against Notre Dame. You know, Boise lost to a good South Florida team. They're still a pretty good club. Yeah, Notre Dame under Marcus Freeman, is one of the best against the spread teams in college football. But laying 3 touchdowns? Boise 5-1 against the spread as 15-point or more underdogs. Do the boys in Vegas not remember Boise State making the playoffs last year? Do they not remember Boise upsetting Oklahoma in the Fiesta Bowl many moons ago, or upsetting Georgia in 2011? Love Boise State. Nobody beats Boise State by 21 points. Give me Notre Dame laying to 20.5. Pick number 4, Central Michigan laying 7.5 against Akron. The boys in Vegas, they're giving us an early Halloween treat. 3-2 Central, only a 7.5-point favorite over Akron, the biggest waste of human flesh in football uniforms east of the Mississippi. Are you kidding me? They've beaten one team, Duquesne. That doesn't even count. Their losses by 31 points a game. They're 3-41 against FBS teams over the last 4 seasons, and we buried the lead. Central 13-2 against the spread their last 15 line games against Akron. Love Central here. Give me Akron plus 7.5. Pick number 5, Cal plus 2.5 against Duke. The boys in Vegas' dyslexia is kicking in again. They have it backwards. It's Cal that's 4-1. Duke only 3-2. Cal's at home. Duke on the road. Cal head coach 33-20 against the spread as a dog, and Cal 15-5 against the spread their last 20 at home as an underdog. Love Cal here. Give me Duke minus the 2.5. Pick number 6, Miami laying 4.5 against Florida State. I love to see Florida State win this game, but it's not happening, folks. You know what? They couldn't handle Virginia last week, giving up 46 points. Miami's defense is the real deal. They're going to eat them alive like they did last year, winning by 22. Love Miami here. It'll be Florida State plus the 4.5. Pick number 7, Western Michigan laying 13.5 against UMass, which is 0-4, losing to Bryant. What the fudge is a Bryant? They have 4 wins, folks, over FBS teams over the last 6 years combined, and I'm only laying 13.5. Absolutely love UMass here. Love Western Michigan here. Yeah. Give me UMass plus 13.5. Opposite pick, week number 6. Good luck, folks.
Ashton Genty, between yards and yards before contact and yards after contact, all these sorts of, they're giving him nothing. He is getting hit constantly behind the line of scrimmage, multiple yards behind the line of scrimmage, and frankly, at this point, I think he's essentially out of the race, and this is partly due to Emeka Buka having a great year, Tyler Warren putting up big numbers, Tet McMillan, I think, is maybe the most talented player overall in the rookie class.
Pro Football Today, only on SportsGrid.
The leader right now in the clubhouse in the odds market is Fernando Mendoza. College football purists, yep, absolutely know that guy. Fantastic. He's a great quarterback. Non-purists who are tuning in just for the biggest games, who is this guy, Joe, and how did he get here?
Well, he came from Cal. He's a mobile kid. He's big. He's about 6'3", about 220. He's a gutty kid and had a great performance for Kirk Signetti.
SportsGrid's College Football Today.
We're in a weird place with Trevor Lawrence. This was another one of these quote-unquote can't-miss generational quarterback prospects, right? Everybody was salivating over when he was a freshman winning national championships. And here we are, about 5 years later, looking at ourselves going, is this just time for Trevor Lawrence to get a change of venue or something? Like, what's got to give here? Hopefully this Liam Cohen offense starts to come together.
Fantasy Sports Today, only on SportsGrid.
The Americans got to find answers in these partnerships, and I think they need to look at their who's making these decisions from a stat standpoint.
Well, it's so funny to me, especially coming off of the Walker Cup just a few weeks before, how it just seems like there's this glaring chasm between American partnered match play and American individual, singles match play.
The Smiley Show, only on SportsGrid.
All right, welcome back in Game Live, Game Day here on the grid. So back to the board we go after we got the college football opposite picks. Speaking of college football, let's talk a little college football, maybe a little NFL, a little, how about hockey as well? College hockey with our good buddy Cam Stewart, who joins us here, SportsGrid TV host. You see him here all the time here on the grid. So, Cam, we got a couple of games going on. We got 3 more starting tonight before we get to a couple of games tomorrow. But anything on the table for tonight that strikes your fancy?
Well, right now, we know I like Delaware before this game, full disclosure, and they're down 10, but getting 6.5 live, that looks good to me, Scott. I think they can come back against Western Kentucky. I don't know why, South Florida on my book is laying 36.5. They're up 23. I don't really want to touch that game. This CFL game is absolute quicksand tonight in Ottawa. There's only been 17 points. The Riders, the much better team, but just sloppy play on both sides. One of the touchdowns was also a pick 6 for Saskatchewan, but they've just locked that game up. Maybe, Gabe, I don't know if you're thinking about the over. It's down to 34.5, but this game right now, it doesn't look like they're doing anything there. I take Saskatchewan, but they're already up 14-3, laying 9.5. No, but I do have an opposite pick for you tonight, Scott. I will be taking the Colorado State Rams against San Diego State tonight, getting +5. I like the Rams tonight in an upset.
All right, how come?
I just like the line movement in that game is very, very odd. I think San Diego State too. I just don't like the fact with them laying points. I'd rather take both teams. They're very inconsistent. Colorado State's, I'm not going to say they're a good football team, 1-3, but just something's telling me sometimes these plays just vibe plays too. I look at the line, I look at the line movement. It's gone down, but you know what I mean? Like, who's betting this team? It's just kind of an opposite pick scenario. So I just really think Colorado State can hang in this game. I think it's going to be very, very close.
Yeah. You got a college hockey play for us tonight, don't you?
Yeah. Gabe and I are both on Penn State's on my book. They're laying 200 on other books. I see it as low as 180 on Bet 365. But I also like the over in this game. It's 6.5. I think there's going to be lots of goals in this game. I would be laying it with Penn State -1.5. It's +123 at -1.5 on my FanDuel book, but I'm going to say 6.5 over. We talk about it. McKenna, he's an absolute stud for their team. Arizona State can, they could score, but they're going to give up a lot of goals in this game too. I definitely think we can get to 7. I think there's going to be a lot of offense, but so 6.5 goals to me seems very attainable. I like Penn State in the game. You're getting plus money if they can have the lead with an empty netter. Don't really want to lay $2, but if you can find a dance partner, that's a good play. But I like the over 6.5 Penn State, Arizona State. That game goes off at 10-10. Also in the NHL tonight, I'm going to be betting a preseason game, taking Morency's Vancouver Canucks, getting plus 120 against Edmonton. The last time these teams played, it was 4-3. Skinner's day-to-day for the Edmonton Oilers. Vancouver is coming off a huge 8-1 win over Calgary. I think they're going to be fired up for this game. They're getting a revenge spot. I know it's exhibition play, but, they're getting 120 at home in front of the home fans. I think it's worth a little sprinkle. So give me the Vancouver Canucks in NHL exhibition hockey preseason.
I'm going to stay away from the Canuck game tonight, but you got a lot of action there. I'm going to stay away from the Canuck game tonight. Regular season's like literally around the corner now. So now we're into like last preseason games, which I don't really know what you're going to get from teams. That's why I've just sort of stepped away from the NHL. The season starts on Tuesday. It's here right now. So I just, now I think it could be more. So let's just get in and out of here and don't get anybody hurt. I'm not sure about the lineup, but I do agree with the total. I'm on Penn State, but NCAA hockey, guys, for the most part, I'm not going to say you blindly bet the overs, but it is higher scoring. Like, it's very, very fast, right? Like the CHLs of the world, like it's very NHL-like. Like they clog you up, and it's not as free skating as there's not as much hitting in the NCAA either. So it's basically dudes are just flying around, teeing up shots at the goalie all game. It's really hard to want to take it under. Penn State are pretty explosive offensively, and Arizona State aren't great defensively. The only thing is Arizona State lost 4 of their 5 top scorers. Maybe, if they lose 4-0 or something, but I think Penn State probably end up winning like 5-2, 5-3.
That'd be perfect game. Hit the puck line and the over in the game. Delaware's driving. I think they're on the Western Kentucky too. So getting that 6.5 is good.
Yeah, they were on the 4 before and didn't score. So
they better start scoring. When they unlock this thing, we'll take a look.
They did score.
Oh, excellent.
So they get the touchdown.
Perfect.
Yeah, the total is 60.5 right now. I got a 62, so I'm off the pace. Actually, you know what? 60.5 and 62 don't matter, actually. 2 touchdowns gets me there. There's 9 minutes left. Yeah, Scott, this could end up 30-30 at that number. Western Kentucky kick a field goal. Delaware 30-30. Yeah, there's a couple of passes for us to get here still.
For sure. Yeah. I think the Delaware Fighting Blue Hens are going to come back in this game. They had that 7-point lead, and then it went into a lull, but I think they can come back. I'm actually I already have them in the game. I think Gabe does too, but that's very attractive to me. I'm seeing plus 210 on the money line. Like, maybe they haven't adjusted it yet for scoring, but that seems to me, this is a team that's right in this game, and that's a good number. You're right, Gabe, 60.5 is the live total right now. I guess you can get there at 44. There's still 10 minutes left in the game. So I might actually do something crazy and take the Ottawa.
It's up to 51 now. They get the extra point too. So 27-24 Hilltoppers, 9:54 left in the football game. So still a lot of football left. I'll be happy with a split. I've got Delaware and I've got the over. I don't want to go 0-2, so I'm hoping to at least get a split at this point. 2-0 would be better.
Yes,
but
it would be.
It is what it is.
It's always better.
How about tomorrow? How about tomorrow, Cam?
First of all, it's got also in the WNBA, Phoenix Mercury. They're up 3 right now. It's basically on my site. It's a pick 'em because the Las Vegas Aces were +3, +3.5 before the start of the game. For anybody who's not involved in that game, I lean Mercury there. That total, wow, 174.5. I can't lie. I thought it would go under the original total tonight, but I like the Phoenix Mercury to win, Scott, and I think they can get it done tonight. Very tight game, though. Very good game.
Yeah, Gabe and I both like the under as well. So all 3 of us did. And game that's going to get the 175 points. Yeah. Slow down a little, 35 points as they close out the third quarter, but still, the original number.
Aces are coming on right now, too. Like Phoenix had a good start to the third quarter. They had like a 6-7 point lead. Suddenly you look up and it's like, oh boy, it's 66-65. Asia Wilson starting to get to the free throw line right now. Like Vegas have outscored them 20-16, so it's a good thing that there's only like 15 seconds left in the third quarter because Phoenix need to stop the bleeding. Vegas are going on a run right now. And boom, Sablia hits a 3 right before the end of the quarter. That was big.
Yeah, it's good for us.
Huge. All right, so Cooper's got 21. Thomas has still only 10. I'm a little surprised with. Well, I guess that's not too bad. But Asia Wilson's got 15. Not awful. Gray 6. Jackie Young 8. So the big 3 for Las Vegas still is not like with 67 points through 3. We would have thought they would have had a little bit more. But all right, so we'll keep an eye on that. College football tomorrow. Number of decent games, Cam. We'll start with Miami and Florida State. Hurricanes laying 4.5. Gabe and I both lean towards Miami. Where are you with this one?
I kind of lean Florida State. I haven't pulled the trigger yet. Miami's been fantastic. I was totally wrong when I bet on Florida against them, and they've just been doing it with defense and offense. They clearly look absolutely amazing, beating Notre Dame earlier on in the year. Like every test they've had so far, Miami has passed. I got to give this team a lot of credit. Florida State, not a very good performance against Virginia. Getting 4.5, something that I'm looking at. I like to look at those home dogs, but Miami's very, very good. So I haven't bet that game yet. Gabe and I will be on tomorrow, noon Eastern till 3. Early games. I've already pulled the trigger, Scott. We like teams not ranked versus teams that are ranked. We talk about that on the podcast. I like the Cincinnati Bearcats to get it done against Iowa State in that game early. Baylor, Kansas State, we could have a lot of points there at 60.5. That's what I'm looking at in the early slate. One thing is we have a revenge spot for Alabama. Gabe, I know you like the over in that game. I also like Alabama. I think this is the time. Vanderbilt beat them before. I think Alabama absolutely kicks their ass. I really like the way this team is playing now, and I think they can absolutely slap them around. Alabama's going to score a lot of points against that Vanderbilt D.
Yeah, I would be surprised. I love this Vandy team. I really do. Love Pavia, but man, if Alabama doesn't blow the doors off them, I'd be real surprised. We'll get some baseball thoughts. A couple of college football games. We'll be back. Get back.
Ashton Genty, between yards and yards before contact and yards after contact, all these sorts of, they're giving him nothing. He is getting hit constantly behind the line of scrimmage, multiple yards behind the line of scrimmage, and frankly, at this point, I think he's essentially out of the race, and this is partly due to Emeka Buka having a great year, Tyler Warren putting up big numbers, Ted McMillan, I think, is maybe the most talented player overall in the rookie class.
Pro Football Today, only on SportsGrid.
The leader right now in the clubhouse in the odds market is Fernando Mendoza. College football purists, yep, absolutely know that guy. Fantastic. He's a great quarterback. Non-purists who are tuning in just for the biggest games, who is this guy, Joe, and how did he get here?
Well, he came from Cal. He's a mobile kid. He's big. He's about 6'3", about 220. He's a gutty kid and had a great performance for Kirk Signetti.
SportsGrid's College Football Today.
We're in a weird place with Trevor Lawrence. This was another one of these quote-unquote can't-miss generational quarterback prospects, right? Everybody was salivating over when he was a freshman winning national championships. And here we are, about 5 years later, looking at ourselves going, is it just time for Trevor Lawrence to get a change of venue or something? What's got to give here? Hopefully this Liam Cohen offense starts to come together.
Fantasy Sports Today, only on SportsGrid.
The Americans got to find answers in these partnerships, and I think they need to look at who's making these decisions from a stat standpoint.
Well, it's so funny to me, especially coming off of the Walker Cup just a few weeks before, how it just seems like there's this glaring chasm between American partnered match play and American individual, singles match play.
The Smiley Show, only on SportsGrid.
All right, welcome back in Game Live. Game Day here on the grid on this Friday evening. Scott and Gabe until 10 p.m. Eastern Time. Talking with Cam Stewart, Sports Grid host, a little college football. Get some baseball thoughts from him as well. How about the San Jose State and New Mexico game? That's going to kick off here in about 15 minutes or so. Cam, we got the San Jose State at home laying a 1.5.
It's a tough game. I know a lot of people are split on this one. I'm going to probably just bet the over in this game. I've gone back and forth on it, but I think we can't have points, so I'm going to take the over in that game. Scott, you like San Jose. Gabe likes New Mexico. Sheriff Lobo. I'm just gonna like basically pass on this one. I'm taking Colorado State as my pooch of the night, and I'm taking the over in San Jose State and New Mexico.
Mm-hmm. How about Iowa State? Great college basketball.
And don't forget about BYU. The BYU game in West Virginia is kicking off, too.
BYU might murder, I don't know, like 20.5, but the number's there for a reason. Like BYU 4-0. These guys are great at home. West Virginia, like, can BYU run these guys out? For me, it's BYU or nothing in this game. Like, I'd love to take 20.5. I know Charlotte's covering now, guys, but it's Cougars or nothing. Like, I can't take the Mountaineers. That line is huge, but they might win this game by like 30 points. I lean BYU.
Mm-hmm. Let's say college basketball, great system is you bet the home team when it's favored as an unranked home team favorite over a ranked team. That's the case with Cincinnati in college football. I don't know if you want to use that same system, but I know people do love that.
Not anymore, though.
Yeah,
Cincinnati are now favorites.
Actually, they are.
Well, that's what I mean. The unranked home team is favored over the ranked Iowa State team.
Mm-hmm. Yes, the unranked team favorite. Cincinnati.
Yeah, no, that's a good system too. But yeah, I'm saying, everyone's betting Cincinnati. That's what scares me about this, that they become the favorite in this game. I like that system too, Scott, but I'm concerned about this one. I think there'll be a lot of points in this game. I do think Cincinnati win. Iowa State have dodged a lot of bullets this year. They're going to have to be able to put up points on the board in this game. So I think Cincinnati could outscore them. But, it's interesting that the line is flipped. It's like the Miami-Carolina game I was talking about. Carolina Panthers are 0-10 straight up and against the spread the last 10 times they're favored. But they're not favored. The Dolphins are favored by 1 now. So you got to throw that trend out the window.
So it's interesting, because it flips, then all of a sudden they're going to lose, right? It all depends on, 1.5 either way, right? You bet them when they're a dog, but then they're like, okay, now they're a favorite. Like, now I don't want to bet anymore. It's like, what changed?
I'm concerned. Iowa State is a well-coached, well-traveled team. They're very good in big games. I love Cincinnati, though. They're scoring points. Morency's right, probably over. These guys might exchange touchdowns. It's concerning. I like Cincinnati at home, but it's concerning because a lot of people are on Cincinnati now, and that's a very, very dangerous game. PGA Tour guys, I know it's the Sanderson Farms. We got the leader and this board covered. Shout out to Brady Cannon, who has Vince the Butler Whaley at 80-1. He's in contention too. But if you don't have any horses in this race, it's interesting because all these guys need points to get in the top 100. And one of the better players in the world who had a disastrous year is Tom Kim. Tom Kim is now three shots off the pace of leader Garrett Kiggle, who we got at 55-1 at the start of the tournament. He's now 15-1 live, guys. And when you're looking at this leaderboard, he's a guy that's won before. He's a guy that needs points. So watch out for Tom Kim at 15-1, despite I'd like these other guys to win at a bigger price for sure. But I'd be very careful. That's a good number for a really good golfer.
I see our boy Eric Cole's on the leaderboard there.
Yes,
One shot back.
Run, go, Mr. Cole. Yeah, he was a first-round leader, too, with Sam Riders on the Storm. So I'm like, wow, Cole, like, where was this when you needed him? This guy's always like, he's a piece of work. Anyway, I guess the break really helped him because he's playing well this week. He's second right now.
How about,
they just keep scoring, and they just keep scoring in this basketball game. Yeah, 76, 75. Yeah, 185.5 now I've got as a total in game. That's what it is now.
Woo,
at this point, I just want them to score, and score. This way, the line goes a little bit higher each bucket for tomorrow or for game number 2, and just pound the under. So you might as well just get 100 to 100 with this goofy game. So they scored 6
for the
points
records.
In the final 30 seconds of the third quarter.
Yeah. There was a little explosion there. They both kept scoring, and there was like a foul or a technical, whatever. There was like a bunch of stuff that happened. Sadhu Sabli's gone over her number, though. So she was 16.5 points. She's at 19 right now. Alyssa Thomas is stuck at 10 points. but she's got 9 assists. So she's 1 assist away from her double-double, and she's up to 7 rebounds. So the triple-double is actually in play for her. 3 rebounds, and she's 3 rebounds and 1 assist away with 8 minutes left, 7:55 left in the game. A quick check of the Las Vegas props. Asia Wilson starting to score now. She's up to 17. Her prop was 26.5. Chelsea Gray's just, I don't know, Scott, we talked about it. She's taken 2 shots in the second half now. She took 3 in the first. She's only taken 5 shots all night. Crazy. So she's stuck at 6. And she hit her first shot out of the gate, like in the third quarter. I'm like, all right, here we go. And she stopped shooting. She's not shooting. Jackie Young is shooting. She's just missing. Like Jackie Young is 3 of 11, 0 for 5 from 3. She's just not hitting her shots. But Chelsea Gray has played 27 minutes, has only taken 5 shots, so she's stuck at 6 points.
It's amazing. In a high-scoring game, you know how do you count on that? It doesn't make any sense.
You don't.
75 points. We're on pace for 90 points, and she's going to have like 7 of them. It's crazy. It's just crazy. So 76-75, though. 8 minutes left to go. So, Vegas is right there. It's definitely hard to beat a team from start to finish, which is what, you're asking Phoenix to do since they were leading, from start to finish. So it's down to pick them now. In fact, Vegas is actually a -132 favorite. How about that?
All these WNBA playoff games, especially even the first round, there were a couple of like blowouts and stuff, but the quarterfinals, semifinals, whatever, the semifinals and the divisional round, whatever the hell you call it, we've had a lot of close games over the last 2-3 weeks, right? Like we talked about, the Seattle Vegas games were close. The Indiana Vegas games were close. Phoenix, kind of like I said, Phoenix have had the most comfortable ride to the finals.
Yeah, it's amazing. It really is. Quickly, who's winning the World Series, Cam?
The Blue Jays? No, the Dodgers. Tomorrow I've already bet. I'm taking Milwaukee. Maybe it's a good matchup against Chicago. We talk about this team as playoff chokers, and give me the Blue Jays with Gossman against Eel -120.
Cam, great job. Check out Cam tomorrow, noon Eastern with game. Talk more later.
Ashton Genty, between yards and yards before contact and yards after contact, all these sorts of, they're giving him nothing. He is getting hit constantly behind the line of scrimmage, multiple yards behind the line of scrimmage, and frankly, at this point, I think he's essentially out of the race, and this is partly due to Emeka Buka having a great year, Tyler Warren putting up big numbers, Tet McMillan, I think, is maybe the most talented player overall in the rookie class.
Pro Football Today, only on SportsGrid.
The leader right now in the clubhouse in the odds market is Fernando Mendoza. College football purists, yep, absolutely know that guy. Fantastic. He's a great quarterback. Non-purists who are tuning in just for the biggest games, who is this guy, Joe, and how did he get here?
He came from Cal. He's a mobile kid. He's big. He's about 6'3", about 220. He's a gutty kid and had a great performance for Kirk Signetti.
SportsGrid's College Football Today.
We're in a weird place with Trevor Lawrence. This was another one of these quote-unquote can't-miss generational quarterback prospects, right? Everybody was salivating over when he was a freshman winning national championships. And here we are, about 5 years later, looking at ourselves going, is it just time for Trevor Lawrence to get a change of venue or something? Like, what's got to give here? Hopefully this Liam Cohen offense starts to come together.
Fantasy Sports Today, only on SportsGrid.
The Americans got to find answers in these partnerships, and I think they need to look at who's making these decisions from a stat standpoint.
Well, it's so funny to me, especially coming off of the Walker Cup just a few weeks before, how it just seems like there's this glaring chasm between American partnered match play and American individual, singles match play.
The Smiley Show, only on SportsGrid.
Welcome back in Game Live, Game Day here on the grid. Scott and Gabe wrapping up shop here. We got a few college football games to start. We got a couple that are finishing up. We get the full slate tomorrow. We get all the baseball stuff. We'll throw out some final picks here. So just to recap what's going on, WNBA, they're in the fourth quarter. We got 6 minutes left, about halfway through the final quarter. They are now tied at 80. It basically it's pick up, a little juice on Vegas since they're the home team and they were slight favorites going in, minus 128, and the over-under is 186.5. Yeah, at this point, it's just like, you each score 100. What's the difference? Just get the number for game number 2 that much higher, and then just go right back to the under, because I don't think we're going to get this kind of a crazy series. Not like this anyway. I wouldn't suspect. But we got that game, and then we got the college football games. And you got the hockey. So why don't you review your picks for the new viewers?
Yeah, give me Gavin McKenna and the Penn State Nittany Lions and their multi-million-dollar college hockey team as they try to buy a hockey championship. The Michigan Wolverines will beat them, all right? Both in the Big Ten. Hockey with the hockey guys, if you look at the future odds, 4 to 5 teams that are favored to win the championship are in the Big Ten. It's Penn State, Michigan, Michigan State, and the Minnesota Golden Gophers. The outlier is Boston University. You know who the champion is, Scott? It might surprise you. Western Michigan. Western Michigan are the NCAA hockey champions. Great hockey program. So, yeah, give me Penn State. The game's on the NHL Network in the USA, and it's on TSN in Canada if you want to watch it. Penn State, minus 180. I'll go over 6.5 in the hockey game. Give me the New Mexico Lobos plus the 2 points. Give me the over in the Lobo and the San Jose State Spartan game, and I'll lay the 20.5 with the BYU Cougars. You got a kid starting his first ever start, and he's not like he's some stud. He's like their 4th-string, 5th-string quarterback, and he's thrust into the action. Provo on a Friday night. Those Mormons don't drink, but they're pretty loud. It's a pretty wild stadium, Scott. You know what I'm saying? Like they got a lot of energy because they don't drink. I think it is. But yeah, it's a wild stadium, and BYU's offense isn't great, but their defense is really good. I think West Virginia, you see, Scott, West Virginia are getting lit up every week. So that's my picks here. What do you got for us?
Well, I'm going to take West Virginia. I'll take them plus the 20.5. My view is they could be down 4 touchdowns, right? Which is possible. And I get a by the way.
It's a big number.
And maybe I get the backdoor cover. Yeah, it's just a tough number to lay, right? It's one of those games. If you have the favorite, it's like you can't watch it. I can't lay 20, 25 points and watch a football game because I get too caught up into it. Like, what are you doing? I got to catch it in the third quarter and see, Ohio State's leading, 37-0. One of those types of things. West Virginia here, same thing here. So I like San Diego State. It's kind of like an anti-Colorado State play. They're all
that's right, the Aztec game too. I'm with you on the Aztecs, and the numbers come down to 4.5. So I'm going to buy a 0.5 point and make it 4. Give me the Aztecs. I'm with you. Yeah.
Yeah, like that one too. So, and then I'll grab San Jose State. The line dropped to 1.5, so most people are betting New Mexico here, but San Jose State.
I've got some drama for you, Scott, here. So Delaware, 4th and 1. They're on the 20, and they're going for it instead of kicking the field goal. I guess they don't trust their kicker.
Wow. 37 yards.
Yeah, so just 3:48 left. They've got 2 timeouts. So, yeah, it's kind of the game here right now.
Yeah.
All right, they run. Oh God.
They ran the ball. I was going to say, don't pull a McVay and run the ball.
They ran the ball and they pitched it sideways. He tried to get to the edge. I don't think he got there. It's going to depend on the spot. He didn't get there.
Wow. I could see them going for it. Relatively high scoring game.
Again.
And stop them. But
Scott, they were on the 4-yard line before we didn't score. Now they get stuffed on a 4th and 1. You got to take your chance, bro. The 20-yard line's a 37-yard field goal. If you're on national television. If you can't make a 37-yard field goal, you shouldn't be on TV. You got to tie the game there, man. Now it's just come on, man.
Jeez. Now we need we obviously need a 3 and out, and then realistically Delaware to kick a field goal. But if they have so little confidence in their field goal kicker to kick a 37-yard,
if they didn't just kick from the 20, exactly. How close do we got to get it for them?
Man, I knew
maybe he's a good kicker, and that's just the play call. These stupid coaches, 3:48. Oh, it's only 1 yard. Yeah, you had Scott. You got to go crazy. The quarterback was in the shotgun, and he pitched it backwards. The kid had to run 15 yards, man. I'm not kidding. By the time he got the ball, he was on the 30-yard line. And the poor kid had to get to the 20 to the 19. Wasn't the running back's fault.
Why do they do that, Gabe? I don't understand. Again, it's simple arithmetic. There's 11 defenders on 9 blockers. You can't hold that block for 5 seconds.
Horrible.
Cam and Gabe tomorrow at noon, and me and Verdier at 3. Have a great rest of your Friday night, folks.